Hey there, how's everybody's day? I'm too good. I'm better. I've had a cold the last couple weeks that seems to have lingered on than I would like it to have. So I really haven't been out and about doing a lot, and I haven't been posting videos like I said I would because I got this cold. Anyway, so I'm going to post a video today. This is me in the natural. This is what I look underneath of everything else that I wear. I think it's okay. I'm just me. So, on to, we're going to talk about hair today. I have naturally curly hair. Actually, if you look at pictures from my childhood, I had straight hair, like straight hair. My mom used to cut it kind of boyish growing up, which, whatever. I mean, I'm a kid. As I got older, it kind of was allowed to be like a bob. But usually, if I look at my baby pictures, pretty much kind of like a boyish type haircut, pretty short. But it was straight. So, as you know, I was born in 75. So when the 80s came around, perms were a big deal. So I was here, at the time of my life, figuring out my life and who I'm going to be and the teenager. So my mom took me to a place to get a perm. It was actually kind of like, I don't want to say a barbershop, but I think it kind of was. And I really wanted to get a perm. So I got a perm. And it was pretty hideous. I don't really think that I need to share that photo with you, but it was pretty hideous. It was really, really tight. It's a picture that I'm not very happy with at all. So then after that, my hair just stayed curly. Now I've gone to cosmetology school. I am actually a certified cosmetologist. I haven't kept on my license. So the state of Wisconsin, doesn't think of me as a certified, so I couldn't go work in a salon. But I do a lot of hair in my home. I do my friends' hair, my family's hair. I do my own hair. I do enjoy doing hair. I stopped doing hair because it got to the point where I had started it a little bit later in life. It was kind of one of those change of life type crisis of faith kind of things where I worked a day and went to school at night. And I was very proud that I graduated and I got my license. But by the time I got out to the field, I worked for a salon. And, well, like I'm pushing 40 ish, at that point on my feet all day, 10, 11 hours a day. I couldn't do it. It was too hard on my back. It was too hard on my feet. I was crabby. I was tired. And I was like, so I didn't have enough people to do my own thing. So I started to kind of think about doing my own thing. I rented a chair for a while. It didn't really work out for me. So I decided I probably should have started younger in my age. So by 40s, 45, I'm making my own schedule. I'm able to take breaks when I want to. But the first job that I got taught me so much more than actually going to beauty school did. It was a wonderful place, great company. Nothing bad about the company, wonderful company. I just couldn't do those long hours and weekends and nights. And I have 3 kids and it just got to be too much. So, and then I tried to move on to something else and I wasn't making enough money because we had small children at that point. So I need to make money. So that's where I was at. So here we are, like 10 plus later, I'm in my 50s. I'm 50. I turned 50 on July 4th. I'm not embarrassed about that at all. I love being 50. I don't mind telling people I'm 50 because I don't look 50. I don't act 50. I don't even remotely think that I even feel 50. There are days my body says that I'm 55, but that's it. I just don't look 50. So, yes, as you can see, I do have the pink bottom in my hair. I do that all myself. I may need to touch it up, but today we're not going to touch up my hair. We're actually going to I'm going to cut my hair. I thought because if you have curly hair, okay, first of all, okay, if you have curly hair, there's something that I'm sure you can resonate with me, and please put in the comments if you can. It is hard to find somebody that can cut curly hair. When I went to beauty school, I found out that nobody should have touched a razor with my hair. Well, in the early 90s, cuts were all the thing, right? And it just frets my hair out, and I never do that. I didn't know that. I cut my own hair. That's one of the reasons why I went to beauty school, because I sat there, looked myself in the mirror, and said, oh, crap, I gotta go get my hair cut again. And, okay, who do I trust? Where do I go? What do I do? Because every time I go, I felt so bad because I come home and tell my husband, oh my gosh, I went to the haircut place again and they did this and this, my bangs are too short, this is all this. And I was like freaking out, literally freaking out. And then I was like, all right, I've always kind of wanted to be a beautician. And I was like, okay, so I'm going to learn how to go to B school and be a beautician. So I can at least cut my own hair or at least cut my bangs. Because I remember growing up, and I've tell you a bang story of growing up. So my mom actually was a beautician. She was got her cosmetology degree. So kind of following her footsteps, right? Anyways, she used to cut my bangs as a kid. Okay. And she she tried to do a good job. Well, guess what I would do? Watch this. Okay. So here we are. He's going to cut them straight across. Okay. And then when I go like this, they're too short. She goes, you got to stop holding your eyes up. So then after that, we kind of worked through it as I got older and was like talking to her more. And then she would, as the years got on, it got to the obvious that, probably by like, no, it was before my seventh grade year. My eighth grade year, I actually moved to Montana at that point. Then she actually took me to a grown-up salon. We met somebody that we both trusted that wasn't very expensive. And so if you're a beautician out there, I love you and I appreciate what you do. Please don't take this to heart or anything. This is just my own struggle with this. So if I say anything in here, I'm not doing it to offend people. So trust me, I'm not. So I just do my own hair because I just know how it flows. I know how I like to see it when I do it. So usually when I do the first cut, I cut it dry, okay? Because I know how I want it to lay. Now, when you go to a beauty salon, they spray it all with water, and that's what they should do, and that's okay. Because actually, when you cut it dry, it doesn't sometimes get a really fine cut. Like you might miss a small piece or two. It's not foolproof unless you wet your hair down. But I like to cut first dry because this is basically kind of what it looks like styled. I tend to, and like in my videos, you see that I go up here with it sometimes and I pull it up like this and I might take a flat iron and because these little wispies right here, they don't really necessarily sometimes curl. And this just happened to be one of those moments where, okay, also, if you know curly hair, it does what it wants to do. Some days it's perfect. Some days it's not so perfect, but you're still allowed to do it. And then some days you just get a hair tie and you pull it up and you're done with the day, right? Like that's usually second day for me. Okay, so here we are. All right, so this is how I like wear my hair kind of now. So as you can see, if you look at my hair, now I have the pink on the bottom, and I like to have the definition between the pink and the dark pink and the blonde. Although, when I rinse out my hair, it tends to bleed up in here, and that's common. That's pretty common because if you think about it, a white piece of paper, you throw any sort of color on there, it's going to color and it's going to stay there. If you don't want that, then you pull it up and I rinse it out and I rinse it out with cold water. I still get a little bit in here, but that's okay. It looks like an ombre, which an ombre is from lighter to darkest. So it kind of turns into what it looks like a natural ombre. So I work with it. I'm okay with it. The last time I colored my hair, I actually pulled a little bit through here and through here. And then I think I might have touched these a little bit. I don't quite remember. But you'll see a video. I'm actually going to show you a video of me coloring my hair. But today we're just going to cut it. So basically, if you look at my hair, it's just like this, okay? It's just got this out here. And like I said, I can tell that it's getting long because it's just coming down. I wanted to have a little bit more volume and a little bit more puff. I sprayed a lot of hairspray in the last night to kind of get it set up a little bit. So this is kind of like how I style it, unless I go up here with it, or whatever. So I usually have this side down. So if you look at my hair, my parts right here, and yes, you can tell I need to get the color drop done because my grays are peeking out. But I part my hair here. So everybody parts their hair a little bit different. Some people part it right down the middle. Which if you go like this and you go up and you go back, this is the middle of your hair. Okay, so from here back, it's all the middle. So when I cut somebody's hair, I have them part it how they would part it. That's how I cut hair. If you cut your hair different of whatever, that's how I cut hair. That's kind of how I was taught to cut hair. That's how I would cut hair. Then that way, like here, as you can see, my bangs kind of start here and they go down a little bit. Now, There's a bang up here that's really short, and I did trim that. I probably won't touch that at all. Also, I do bleach my hair, okay? So with bleaching does come some sort of breakage. It's just a given. I'm really careful. Like right now, I'll probably just do the roots of my hair. I might put a little bit down in here just to maybe take this out, whatever. But we'll decide it when we decide to color my hair. We'll deal with that later. So here I am. I'm looking at my hair. Okay. So we've always talked about this right here. So this is what I'm going to do. I have my scissors right here. These are some shears. We call them shears in cosmetry area. That's what they're called, shears. Scissors, you cut paper. Shears, you cut hair. Okay. So I use a bigger comb just because I have big hair. I use a bigger comb. When I cut other people's hair, I use just your standard comb like this. It works the best. So anyway, I'm going to use this. So then I'm going to go over here because you see how this is like this. And okay, first of all, if you've never cut your hair, please don't think that this is a training video. Please don't, because I don't want you coming back to me, oh my God, like I cut my hair because of your video. I'm just showing you how I cut my hair. Now, if you do like the cut like this, you can certainly share this video, with your cosmetologist or with somebody that you trust. If you feel like you want to cut your hair, that's completely your own thought. I just don't want you freaking out in my email that you cut your hair and you're crying and wailing and all this kind of stuff. Trust me, I've been there. A very bad pregnancy moment. Okay, so here we are. So you see this right here. This is all this kind of let's go down. Now I don't touch the bottom at all. I'm just basically worried mostly about the top. I'm probably not going to trim my bottom. I just kind of let that go at this point. So basically I'm worried about the top here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull this up. And I'm just going to kind of pull it up. And I kind of know how much I want to take off. Like I want to take off. So it sits down about here. So if we had the hair right here, you see how it's sitting down here? I want to take probably like about this much off. Not a lot, just so it sits up a little bit higher. So when I go up here, so I pull it all at the top. I just let this kind of fall down. I let whatever fall down, fall down. I don't get too worked up about it. And then I just kind of go up here and we grab this. Now, this is a technique of cutting hair that I learned when I was in my first job. It's called point cutting, okay? So right here, we're just gonna, see that right there? We're just kind of point cutting a little bit. Now, it's a little bit harder to do it on your own head. So you just kind of got to learn mirrors are backwards, right? Okay, so, all right. So I did a little cut there. Now I'm going to put it down. I'm going to see what I think of it. And I'm going to tell that just kind of because the other reason why this wasn't, and I don't really care about my shirt right now, whatever. The other reason why is that I could tell that it needed to be cut is because it wasn't curling on the ends. The ends weren't curling. So I'm like, well, there's too much weight. It's too heavy. So that's why I need to give it a trim. Okay, so you see this right here. And I might even just do this too, just because I know I kind of wanted to sit right up here. I might even just go in here. And just kind of, it's like sculpture, okay? I don't know if there's any artists or any sculptures out there, but that's what hair cutting is like. It's hair cutting as an art form. It's like doing a sculpture. So you see the side of my head. So I cut the way that I wanted. So I kind of got it the way I want to sit. So I'm going to go out here and I'm going to pull it all up. And this is kind of where I'm going to add just a little bit of a layer on the top. And I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so we still got a little bit that's longish in here. So we're going to grab this because we have our guide kind of right here. So guide is where you want your hair to land. Okay, so you do that first cut, and then you bring the hair down, and you do another cut, and you're going to go across that line. That's a guide. This is a guide. This is my guide. Okay, so here we are. All right, I'm going to grab my scissors. I'm try to find that line. There we go. And then I'm just kind of point cutting around. Now, another reason why I point cut is I do have curly hair. So with me point cutting like that, It just kind of like curl hair is just kind of like big and whatever. I want it big and whatever. So, so point cutting it, it's not straight across. I'm working with the curl. I'm trying to manipulate the curl and working with the curl. That's what I'm doing in this cut. So here we are. Okay, so we got this right here. And it seems to be laying like right where I see how that is, how this laying. It's laying a lot better, okay? See that? Okay, so now I'm gonna go back up to the top and I'm gonna bring it up and I'm gonna see where it's landing on the top. See what we got going on here. I might just take just a little bit up here. So laying it up higher like this helps me put a layer in it. That's just something I know, but it does. Okay. You're just gonna go like this. And you're just gonna cut in there, cut in there, cut in there. And just take a little bit off the edges. And then that will help me. I don't want to get my knuckle right there, but there's like one piece of hair. Just a second. Ah, got it. Okay. So, you see that right there? Already more movement. You see that? Already more movement. See? See how much weight you took off of there? Look at that. See, already more movement. Now, I did it dry so I could see where it's landing. All right, so then we're going to just trim up this bang a little bit here. You see this bang coming down? This is a bang that I always kind of have there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go like this. And you might have seen your beautician do this. But I'm just going to kind of, it's called face framing. Just cut as you go down. There's a little bit of face framing. Okay. See that? Now it just starts shorter and goes down. See? I like that. Okay. Now, what I sometimes do, and I'm just going to go like this, what I sometimes will do is I'll take my bangs. I want to kind of make sure I got all my bangs on this side here. And I'll go like this, and I'll kind of see where they sit with each other. And it looks like I might just take a little bit and just go like this a little bit and kind of even them out. You can see where that one little piece is right there. I'm going to kind of just follow that, and I'm just going to point cut a little bit out. And I'm looking at it. And then that'll just happen to sit wherever it wants to sit. See that? There. See? Okay, so we did that side. Sweeping some hair from current of my bathroom, so I'm just sweeping hair from the sink into the sink. Okay, so now got lots of movement over here. Nice movement, so when I put my curling product in, it'll really look nice. It'll work really well. So now we're going to go on this side over here because we haven't touched this side at all. So we're going to do the same thing on this side, okay? You see how this is? Now this side's heavier because I part my hair like this. So there's more hair on this side than there is on this side. So that's the deal there. That's what's going on there. So we're just going to make sure that it's all over here. And again, I'm going to kind of do the same thing I did last time. Grab my thing in here. And I kind of know where I want it to land. So I'm probably actually just going to go in there and just kind of notch a little bit into it. Now, the thing with hair is just cut little bits at a time. Do not ever go like this and just go. Don't do that. Please don't do that. Please. Just little bits at a time. Okay, the other thing to keep in mind with curly hair, and those that have curly hair can understand, they bounce when they're wet. Or they bounce when they're dry. So it's going to be shorter when it's dry. So that's another reason why I typically cut my bangs when they're dry, because I can totally see where they're going to land. Because when they're wet and I cut them, they might become shorter when they're dry, if that makes sense. So, if you know, you know. All right, so then we got this one little piece down here. You see that? All right. So we're just gonna, again, I'm just looking at it. There, see that? Okay, so now it's about, now you can kind of see, because it's a little bit easier with my hair because I do have the different colors. So you can see easily where everything is sitting in, and you can tell, just grab your face like this, follow the hair down. We're pretty even. So, and again, I'm not as fussy with cutting my hair as some people might be. So I kind of just go with it. That's kind of who I am. You'll understand. You'll get it. Cheryl just goes with it. Okay. So, all right. So we're gonna pull this up. So we have that guide I talked about, the piece that I already cut. Let the rest fall down. Okay. So we're just gonna kind of. It's a little tougher because it is dry, so it's got products and whatnot in it. Now you can see that there. Now, where's my guide in there? Can you find it? Let's see. Oh, there's one right here. That's my guide. You can kind of see that, right? And then it's falling out too, so it's falling out of the thing. So I'm just gonna go like this, and I'm just going to go like that, and just cut a little bit. And again, point cutting. Watch your knuckle. There you go. Okay. What do you think, people? All right, so here we are. I think right here, and I can just tell too, just from looking at it, like it's like a sculpture, okay? But you want to kind of go round. Well, this isn't very round right here. This is kind of sticking out right here. So I'm gonna go in here, and there's a long piece right there. So I'm gonna go like this. I'm just gonna point in there, and I'm going to cut that big piece out there around the big long piece. And then, see? So it just kind of goes like that. That's how you want your hair to go. And then I'm going to pull it up like I did the last one. I'm going to go like this. I'm going to pull it up. See if I have any, kind of like longer, straighter ones on top. A couple. And again, I've been doing this for a while on my own head. So I kind of know what I'm doing. I don't cut the back of my hair by myself. If I need the back of my hair done, I actually go to a beautician. So I think at one point I even asked my husband to help me, or one of my kids, I don't remember. But all right, so here we are. See? So that looks pretty good, huh? All right, so we're going to grab both of them. We're going to pull them up. We're going to see if they're, yeah, that's pretty good. Woo! Kind of like Phyllis Keller. Okay, so, or Tina Turner. All right. Okay, so there's that part of it. Now what I might do is I might even go in the back, okay? And go all the way around my head, like I'm going to pull my hair up in a ponytail. Make sure the back drops down. See? The back's down here. Okay? I might just go in here and maybe just, I don't usually do this when it's dry, but I just want to see what we got going on here. And because I took about this much off there, I might take just a little bit, like that much off the back. And that's going to cause a layer in the back. It's going to layer the back. And I would suggest that you do the little bits at a time, especially if you're trying to do it on your own head. You got to get used to the whole mirror backward thing. Okay, so here we are. Now, okay. If you can see, this is actually what my hair looks like when it's back. And then this just kind of falls in here. And then we look at it this way. Now, I like to keep this a little bit shortish too, because then it doesn't look, because if you just sit like this, it looks like I might have short hair until you get to my back. So I also don't like that part of me. So I may just cut, and with long hair, with curly hair too, not going to look like a mullet, okay? Like that's the other thing. If like it's different when you have curly hair, because it all kind of works together, so. Okay, we're going to take this piece right here-ish, and we're going to just go in here. I really want that piece up here. It's really good. We're going to go in here, and we're going to maybe take just a smidge off the bottom. Just another smidge, like probably about this much. So then when I have my hair down like this, yeah, you can really tell the difference. So, and then also I'm going to take my bangs too. My bangs are good. I don't really want to cut the bang area because this one's a little shortish up here. I might just go in here, and because I'm just looking at it right now, and I might just go like this and follow it down. Because again, this is art. I'm a sculptor. Here, see that? Okay, that looks really good. So guess the best part is. So what I'm going to do next is I'm actually going to wash this mop. And I'm going to style it for you. And I'm going to show you what it looks like styled or how I style it. So that's the next step. So yeah, see, that looks pretty good, huh? So yeah, that looks good. I think that that'll do. So I'm thinking this piece right here, he just needs just another little, just got my finger there. Okay, there. So, can you see that? Now you see that it's got height. It's got volume on the top. And that's what I want. I want volume. I like volume, okay? So, I mean, the 80s never really left my house. So, I like bands and fan t-shirts and all that kind of stuff. So, I don't really care about that part of it. You definitely talk to your beautician. Definitely go in there and when you go in there, make sure that they listen to you and that they repeat back because they're really supposed to repeat back. And you don't have to feel bad about asking just them to repeat it back. Say, okay, what did I say to you? How do I, like this is, I go with my hair styled when I go in. I don't go with it up, I go with it styled. So they see how I want it to, how I wear it. Now, if you have a new cut, you found it online and you're going here with your phone and showing them, they'll know what they're doing as far as that goes. But just talk to them. Make sure that they listen to you because after all, you are paying them for a service. So they're serving you. So it's okay for you to ask and to, ask all those questions and make sure that they're listening to you because they also want you to leave that chair happy. That's your time with them. That's in that chair is your time with them. So before getting on to the gossip of the day and everything that's going on and all this kind of stuff, ask them. Make sure they understand, make sure they listen to you, that's what you want to do with your hair, of your curly hair. So here we are. I'm actually going to let you go for now. I will be coming back on with another half of this video of what it looks like when I style my hair. So then we can go over what I use on my hair, the styling that I do, and how I style my hair. So I will see you in a little bit. Bye now. Cheryl out. Oh, yes. And one last thing before I leave. May your coffee be warm and your hair full. And your hair awesome. Bye now.